Hello and welcome to another Chatbox podcast. It's episode 51 of the Chatbox podcast here today. Right, how are you doing? As you know, each week I have a guest to talk about their career or their job. So let's crack on with this week's guest. It's broadcaster Ian Hickling. Hello, Ian. Welcome along.
Hi, mate. How you doing? All right?
I'm all right, thank you, sir. How are you?
I think I'm all right. Bit cold and a bit tired at the moment, but there you go. This is what happens.
That's good. 5 questions for you today, if that's okay.
Yeah, okay, carry on.
About your broadcast career.
Not really a broadcast career. A career in broadcasting, I suppose, is better. Yeah, because I don't do much behind the mic, but we're the people that make things work for the people who are behind the mic.
Okay, then. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, off you go.
Let's rumble in the jungle then. Let's go for it. Question 1. Where did you start your career in broadcasting? In broadcast?
Where? Well, I suppose it was in a station in East London where I was called in to help with the transmission system, which was going wrong. And I got to know a couple of guys that were working there. And I had been in engineering, particularly in antenna design and manufacture before then. And I'd been involved with a little bit of radio, but not very much, mostly in ham radio and stuff like that. But I started looking at broadcast radio then and realized that there was a lot of opportunities there. So I started thinking about what I could do. And in fact, how I got into it was by seeing an advert in our local newspaper about somebody proposing starting a new radio station in Newbury, which is where I live, between Reading and Swindon. And so I wrote to the address on the ad and said, right, I can do all this stuff. What do we need to do? And I got called into a meeting and they were going to do a short-term broadcast known as an RSL, a restricted service license broadcast. And they wanted somebody to run the technicalities of it. Well, I knew enough about that to be able to do it. And I ended up not only doing that, getting all the equipment in, but actually physically building the studio with wood and nails and plasterboard and putting the doors in and putting the windows in and then running the station for a month and then taking it all away again. So that's really how I got into radio, from the hands-on aspect of it.
Brilliant. That's a great way to start your career in radio. Question 2, who were your broadcasting inspirations in radio and broadcasting growing up?
Oh, but when I was growing up, well, I grew up during the war because I was born in '39. So my first experience of radio was wartime broadcasting. And I suppose the people that influenced me most were, strangely enough, newsreaders or newscasters or news broadcasters, they were known in those days, or even announcers. They used to call them announcers. They're not called that anymore now. The people that could speak to you in an authoritative way, speak nicely and pleasantly and clearly, and from whom you could learn. And the amount of stuff that I learned about, I suppose you might call it international affairs, languages, movies. There wasn't any television in those days, and all that kind of things that were going on in real life. There wasn't anybody really in particular, but people on what was originally the BBC Home Service, which is now Radio 4, the BBC Light programme, which is Radio 2, and then the BBC Third programme came up, which we didn't do much about. That's now Radio 3. That was all classic music. It's got a little bit more popular now. But I suppose those were the people that got me interested in it, from the speaking and the radio point of view, as opposed to the technicality, which is something quite different.
Yeah, brilliant. And we'll move on now. Question 3. What is your favourite part about your job in the broadcast sector?
Well, that's easy. It really is very easy. The answer is meeting a lot of nice, interesting and pleasant and friendly people. Now, there's a straightforward answer.
Excellent. We'll move on to question 4 because we're rattling through these. How has COVID affected your life and line of work?
In reality, not at all. We've managed to keep going with the things that we normally do. Admittedly, it's slower, mainly because it's been more difficult to get hold of equipment. Stuff which is coming in from abroad is almost unobtainable in some areas now. And actually going out to do work was difficult because obviously a lot of people were scared stiff about anybody coming in and meeting anybody. So whenever we went in to do installations of any kind, whether it be in a studio or outside on somebody's roof, we had to be desperately careful about not getting too close to people or touching anybody or touching anything. But once you got used to that, the standard precautions, it honestly didn't do anything to hold the job back rather than just make it a bit slower. That's all.
Brilliant. Yep, that's brilliant. And question 5, the last question on the list, because we're rattling through these.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to young aspiring broadcasters who are starting out?
Just one word: listen. Listen to what other people are doing. Listen to the people that you like, and also, even more importantly, listen to the people that you don't like. Don't try and imitate people. Be your own person. Do it your way, but learn from the people that are good at it. Learn from the people that have made their name in broadcasting. Some of them you'll like, some of them you may not like too much. I mean, I've got my favorites amongst broadcasting greats, and there's some people, some of the more modern presenters who I find it difficult to get on with. Let's not name names, but I enjoy factual stuff. I enjoy news. I enjoy good ads. In fact, I write ads because I like writing ads. I like good language. I find it difficult to get on with people who won't speak properly, who won't convey what they want to say, and who don't know what they're talking about and bluster on. Maybe I'm doing that, I don't know, but that's the advice. Admire the people that you'd want to be like, and be aware of the people that you don't want to be like. How's that?
Brilliant, brilliant. That's it for today. Thank you for joining us, Ian.
You're welcome. It's nice being here. Thank you.
Do join me again for another Chatbox podcast very soon. But for now, please give it up for Mr. Ian Hickling.
Thank you. Nice to be here. Cheers.
Thank you very much for watching and listening. This will be available on YouTube, by the way, on my own website, the audio version. But for now, as I always say, that's a wrap.